Guys, how are we feeling? Before we get too into things, I just want to see. I haven't had a chance to look at everybody's posts. I want to see how everybody feels about all their posts. We got into it yesterday. We started to think about adding in some new stuff. Anybody want to go with one of their goals, hopefully a longer term goal, and something that they're adding into their life to make that happen and or remove? Anybody have anything for me? Feeling confident? Awesome. I love it, Matt. What else you guys got? Let's go with the goal. Go ahead, Dennis. Oh, hold it. I can't hear you. One sec, please. Let me see what's going on. Please try that again.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes. Thank you.
So I'm adding something we talked about, which is day one of journey to becoming an author.
Nice.
I want to write a book. So I'm adding that in. And I also added in a couple other things that I'm doing that I haven't been keeping track of, but I'm going to add it to the Morrow momentum. So my daily reading of the Bible, I started at the beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm also looking at adding in some kind of cold plunge or physical challenge, going after your example, but I haven't figured out exactly what yet.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this, guys. So just if you don't know, I have a book coming out, which is a version of my course. It's probably at least 90 days away. But what we're doing here with Dennis is we talked a little bit about his goals, and he'd like to be an author. And something that he feels passionate about is the Lord. And I really want a Christian version that goes with my book for anybody who is a God-fearing man. I want them to be able to embrace God and look at the Bible with the course. For a long time, I think since the beginning, people have said, is your work based on the Bible? And I said, well, no. But a lot of men have pulled out verses and scriptures and things like that. So this is very near and dear to Dennis's heart. And I said, well, why don't we work together so that we can get your name out there and get you working on a book? So one of his goals we can now use as little stepping stones in momentum so that he can start to do more towards his long-term goal of being his own creator, his own author. And you've got also an idea of how you can bring Christianity into leading men, purpose, legacy. We're doing other work with that as well. And I want to just make sure that nobody feels discouraged here. It's not because Dennis is with me. That's how we connected. But Dennis could have done the exact same thing just along the lines of exactly this without my book. He could have literally said, okay, well, this is what I know of learning about being a man. And he could have started bringing scriptures in. He could have started doing, and you're doing a little bit of other work like that already. So guys, I want you to be encouraged. It's not about who you know. I mean, there's things that can help you a little bit, sure. But you all have the same amount of potential here. That's what I want you to take from this. He's got a bigger goal, and he's breaking it down into smaller bite-sized chunks, and he's going to add things into his life. One of them, of course, you just heard, was that he's been reading the Bible since the beginning of the year. So we're just going to tack that into Morrow momentum, encourage people to get back to the Word. For those of you who struggle with reading the Bible every day, that's something Dennis is able to do. So that's going to inspire a lot of people that want to read Scripture and don't like reading the Bible, right? And so you pull out what you have going on in your life, your story, guys. It's really that simple, okay? So Dennis, do you have anything else you want to add?
Not at this point, although I am making some moves to add some more martial arts mixed into the physical routine that I'm going to be bringing in, but I'm still figuring that one out.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a couple more ads I want to make, and then sticking with all the subtractions, right? So I'm still keeping all my goals: sober, no pornography, no chewing tobacco. None of that stuff. So.
I love it. I'm going to add to Dennis's story because I know about it already. Dennis recently decided it was time to make a change with work. And so a lot of you would be panicked right now. Oh my gosh, what do? I don't have a job right now. I don't know what my income is going to look like. I'm going to be dipping into my savings or I don't have any. Listen to what he's doing. He's calm. He's collected. He's got his goals. He's moving forward. You don't have to let the stress and anxiety take you out if you have a plan. Is that kind of cool or what? Anybody? Yeah, we got some nods. I think it's freaking awesome. You know, I remember this speaks to me because when I lost the gym, well, Catherine and I lost the gym, we lost our home and our vehicles, all of our stuff. We downsized. We ended up getting evicted from the condo we were living in. On the way to eviction, I remember people saying, go shovel snow, go work at Home Depot. And I was like, how is that going to change my life? We get caught in the rat race because that's what society wants you to do, 9 to 5. Or you're a mom, you must stay home. You know, that's bullshit. Society's examples are the exact reason why our marriages is failing. It's also the same reason why people can't be rich, why almost everybody's broke, struggling, or falling along the same lines with the base income, and why people, the elite, there's not very many. It's 3% or less. Usually it's the 1% when we're talking about the wealthy. Anybody here want to be the 1%? Anybody here, I'm gonna let you guys answer, good. Anybody here want to help inspire others to also be the 1%, maybe raise the percentage up? Wouldn't that feel pretty nice? So if we think about when we go out and we're hearing people's problems in their relationship, they're venting, hearing people's problems when they're struggling with their finances, what we see is people sitting in their pain. This kind of work that you're doing right here, getting yourself out of it, not playing in it, is what's going to allow you to inspire others to join you on the journey, right? Follow Dennis's lead. He's not panicked. He's like, okay, I got to take some steps. I got to move forward. Of course, you have to take care of your home. Of course, you got to take care of the basics. I like to go into the red. You don't have to go into the red. I take everything that I make and I give back, or I put it into the business so I can give more, so we can get this thing out there. You probably won't have the same risk tolerance, but we can take some steps to move you forward with or without a big risk tolerance. Is that fair? Okay, who's next? Who else wants to go? Don't be shy. Don't make me sing my song, Don't Be Shy. Come on now.
Hello.
Go for it, Stephen.
Steve here. Okay. We talked about my journey about trying to manage my food situation. You said something about going to the gym. So I've been working through some stuff, getting my food situation figured out, and trying to get a plan together for that. I'm probably running a little late on that. I also reached out and called a pastor friend of mine who's been a friend forever, and he went to the gym when we were kids, and he just blew it up. He's still there. So I called him and was like, look, Mr. Leg, my world's a little different. Can we get together and work out something that's going to be a good workout plan for me? He said, sure. Join the gym. Tell me where you went. We'll do it. So I called Planet Fitness today, found out that like Friday, the whole pricing structure was going to change. So Friday, I'm going to be on it again just to see what it looks like and get in there. So
I love it.
It's like I haven't actually done something, but I have done stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, I love it. That's a lot of times, guys, when you're trying to take the steps forward, it's literally by making a call, sending an email, sending a DM. And then what you might find is when you would normally be working out here in this example, you're using that time to actually figure out how you're going to work out. But at least you're already using the time in the right momentum. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it. Nutrition stuff, you're welcome to use the stuff in the app. Okay, that stuff, that was our best challenge stuff that we used for years and years at our gym. And we were a 7-figure brick and mortar group fitness facility, guys. We charged $350 a month for 3 times a week. Like, that's expensive. Okay, we were good. So go take advantage of that stuff. Okay. And then, yeah, a little more custom could be fine, but worst case scenario, you're starting with your upper body and some easy leg machines for the one leg. Okay, cool. I love it. Well done. Okay, Brian, go ahead, bud.
So this weekend, I went to our men's church retreat and shared my testimony as far as what my negative coping mechanism has done to my life. And then I posted a video of it to social Sunday morning. So happy with that.
Amazing.
And then, yeah,
Can you give us
tracking down the health journey.
Sorry, time out. Can you give us like the overview? Do you remember it well enough to sort of give us a quick highlight of it?
Yeah, so basically I talked about porn addiction and how it's destructive to your, a lot more than just, hey, it's just porn, right? There's mental issues that come with it, depression. It hurts your cognitive ability. Physical for men, it can cause ED. A lot of stuff that I found in the Fight the Beast program, I think that you recommended to me.
Yep.
They had a 3-day program that was day one, that it talked about all the negative side effects that I wish I would have known years ago. And just shared how it's destroyed my marriage. Like, my wife caught it on my phone 3 or 4 years ago, and it just kind of sent us into a tailspin. We've had our ups and downs from there, but, it changed me as a person. I had my family even made comments to me that, you weren't happy. There's guilt and shame behind that, that was driving that. So happy to say I'm more than 30 days free and clean. And so it's actually motivated me towards my journey. Sharing my testimony with the men there this weekend, validated the need that men have for someone to come and be real and authentic with them and share that type of story. I had several come up to me and say, thank you for your courage and thank you for your realness and authenticity in this. We've been longing for something like that.
This is amazing.
So validated. That's where I'm at and need to be going.
It's amazing, man. Guys, for those of you who are scared to share a little bit of your story, think about how hard it would be for someone like Brian to say, I was addicted to porn. I'm only 30 days clean is really what you're saying, right? And to be that vulnerable, and actually for him, he was able to go one step further and say, it's a root cause for destruction in my marriage. And this is hard to say. Brian, the courage, man. Well done. And what you felt with those group of men, you may not see that right away, or you will not see. It's like my topic, man. People aren't going to start commenting, oh, thank you, this is the best, comment porn and see if we can get some help. They're not going to do that, but they might DM you. And if they don't DM you, they're thinking, because it's very, very real. Dude, I applaud you. And for those of you who are scared about whatever your post is, there's not a lot that can be harder than that. You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you, once you get
we lost you.
Tell you that once you get things taken away from you that you love and care about, I haven't seen my kids and we're coming up on 2 months. To have your wife stripped away from you, I think I've shared this on here before. I've spent 2 different 24-hour holding periods in lockup, and when it puts you on your knees like that, you find the courage. So I'd say don't get to where I've got to. Find the courage before you get there.
That's part of your message right there, right? And I want to encourage you too to shed some light, like how good you feel. This might not be you. I'm not sure yet. I'm just getting to know your personality, but you might even just do a stupid dance. Think about the old TikToks, right? 30 days porn free. Like, I feel like, because there's a sense of empowerment when you conquer don't do the chicken dance. Leah's doing the chicken dance. Don't do that. You're no chicken, buddy. This is a big, bold move. Don't listen to her. Jeez. But you guys, there's a sense of pride and accomplishment that comes. This is what I'm talking about, filling your own cup. And you've inspired a few, which fills your cup some more, And man, take that pride and run with it. How else do you notice the benefits in your life? I'll give you an example. Men, I don't know what your story was, but I know a lot of men that I've worked with will sometimes spend like 30 minutes to an hour a day on their phone with that stuff, right? With porn. And it could just be even searching. It's not even necessarily touching. You know what I mean? And the whole point is you just gained a whole lot of freaking time. In my program, one of the things that I'll talk about with porn is like, you're wasting time. You want your wife to want you, but you're wasting all this time. Like do the math quick there. It's not even about the pleasure side of things. It's just the spiral, So I'd encourage you to share both the pain of your loss, like you are right now, and also the benefits of things that you're noticing. And this will go for all of you as you go through this. I'll use Leah for a second. When she's talking about victims of narcissism, there's a sense of fucking freedom there. And we focus on that freedom, but she's got an accountability side she wants these victims to take so that they can be free, So one is pain and one is liberation, right? If you can attach that to the liberation, then this is what's going to push you further in your journey. This is why it holds you accountable, okay? Because you're sharing it. But then this is what sets other people free, right?
Casson,
Yeah.
the other piece of the story is needing to find validation from outside sources, right? And that's one thing that we talk about in this program is being able to self-validate. And that, you talk about a root cause. Well, that's, I would say, is the root cause of the root cause.
Yeah,
So,
that's really brilliant,
another
right?
topic.
And you should share that, right? So like what he's talking about, guys, in my program, we talk about something called the nice guy. And the nice guy is seeking constant approval and validation. And don't get this wrong. I personally believe that there's nice girls too. It's just that a doctor coined the term nice guy in 2003. Okay. And it's really just, the point is we seek external validation. We seek approval. And if you think about it relationship wise, guys, everybody gets together in their relationship, right? And what are we doing? We're proving, we're validating. You're the best person I've ever met. You're so intelligent. I'm going to drop everything. I'm so available for you. And it's all this constant reciprocal relationship of validation and approval seeking behavior. But we don't realize it because we're both giving it. But we're not taught to be a man and woman in a relationship. We're taught to just go get married. And we're taught not to feel or share our feelings properly by our parents, right? Don't cry. Okay. I won't get into it too much here. The point is what Brian's talking about is, by the time marriage starts to, or relationship starts to go sideways, approval and validation that you once offered your partner, you start to take from your partner. You're starting to pull it from them because they don't freely give it as well, because we get defensive. Why? Life happens, jobs, kids, it's just a stressful day, maybe a budget, whatever. We're stressed. We might have anxiety, depression, ADHD, whatever we start to victimize ourselves with, okay? We start to cope. We start to seek mechanisms like porn or alcohol or whatever to get that validation, because what is it? A need is not being met, right? What we need to start doing is the root cause, what Brian's talking about here, filling our own cup. We get our own validation. We're not doing that from porn now. We're giving. We're growing. We're learning to be better. We're developing skills to reach these goals that we've been talking about in Momentum here. Then you start to feel pretty fucking good. Okay. Now you can give back in your relationship. Now, let me just spin this for you guys and go a little bit further. Okay. Just so you can see where this can go for you. He's in a situation where he's not able to see his wife or his kids. He's in a situation where he chose to do the program, unlike many men who would victimize themselves. He said, no, I can take responsibility for myself. And one of the things he noticed was porn. Okay. Health was another one. There's a whole lot that he's looking at here. Okay. Now, he doesn't get to see his wife and kids, but he gets to post on social media, continuing to build his own self-esteem, sharing with people, not to brag, but to feel pride, to feel approval of himself, and share the inspiration to others. And wait a minute. Now, people in his life will potentially see that. You have mutual family.
Plus accountability.
Well, accountability, of course. Yeah. I hope as long as you guys just do the project, you just learn accountability, right? You know what I mean? It's no good to spend thousands of dollars on a cold plunge in my garage and say I'm not going to use it every day. You know what I mean? That would be stupid, right? So hopefully that just happens. I just want to trick you into being disciplined. Does that make sense? So that's my little sneaky little trick. But yeah, now for those of you who are struggling, even if your partner's at home and she or he is just not responding to you well, the people in your life are going to be like, whoa, what's going on with Brian? Like I noticed because they read the comments, guys. What do? They play in their pain, right? The ones you're focusing on and helping, they're going to get the benefits and reach out and connect and or think, learn, respond by doing the same thing, inspired by your leadership. And then the others are just going to sit there and go through it, and they're going to have questions. Maybe it's to your spouse, right? So all of a sudden, he might have an opportunity where she's like, hey, I noticed things are different. Oh, yeah? How'd you hear that? You can't assume it's social media because he's been talking to people. And he's in my program, so he knows to be curious, and he starts asking questions, but he's got a softer tone. He's learning how to be communicative. The wall is coming down. All of a sudden, there's a new what? Opportunity to save his fucking marriage and bring his family back together. All because he took care of himself first. Now, she might get mad. Let's go with worst case scenario. Brian, your wife gets mad. How dare you share that intimate part of your life? That's really what she'd be saying, right? But she might take it personal. She's not in a program. We can't judge her for that. She's not growing like you. So we're not going to judge that and hold that against her. But you will now have the skills to learn to communicate with her, let her feel, get her through it, and show structure for the future. I can appreciate how difficult that must be for you, honey. And then roll with it. Start providing adventure. Have some fun. Because why? Because you feel fantastic. You're not taking it personally. You know this was for you. You're damn proud that you're not on porn anymore. You're damn proud to have a six-pack right now. You're damn proud of the skills you're learning for this, this, and this. And by the way, along the way, we reached a number of other goals. Isn't this cool? Pretty fun,
Right on.
guys. Brian, do you have anything else?
So the story got pretty cool. So I posted that Sunday morning prior to church. And I mean, as far as I know, she still goes to church or watches it on social media. We post a live stream of the church service.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the service, the minister, he was there, just mentioned that one of the men had came forward and shared a testimony. And so that just, it felt really great. But it also gave me hope that if she saw the video and she saw that she would connect the dots and, you know, that something might grow out of that, you know, plant a seed. Yeah, that's it.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, guys. So this is going to happen for a lot of you. Because remember, a lot of you came to us because of what Catherine and I do. Okay. Saving marriages, saving relationship. Okay. So you are potentially going to hope that your partner sees it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just remember, if your partner is your why, it can't be your why not if they're frustrated, if they're upset, right? If they don't understand what you're doing, you can't possibly have a why and a why not in the same home, in the same vibe, in the same goal, the same mindset. So it's okay to be hopeful, look for the best, find the win with that beautiful conversation that you have, or at least that you had a conversation. That would be a massive win for you right now. Even if she sent a text and you can't respond right now, that'd be massive, right? And so we'll find the wins, but we will not get discouraged from the negativity, from the lack of support, from it not going your way. Because remember, go back to what Brian said, and learning accountability. That is discipline, accountability, responsibility, follow through, all of the above wrapped into it so that your partner can trust you, i.e. feel safe. If they feel safe, we can look at having a peaceful home, the peace pillar in the home. Okay, that's my first thing in my program, peace. So if you can do that, all of it will be a win. Even if they're not supportive, look at it like a win. Does anybody know why? Anybody want to guess?
Eventually, you're going to grow. She'll see the growth.
That's right, but I'm going to go a step lower. I like that answer, though. That's where we're going, right?
You're growing yourself. You're
Yes.
becoming a better person all the way around.
Yes, I love that. Go lower. Remember, I do everything like the rejection ladder. So let's go lower on the ladder here.
If they're reacting, they care.
There we go. They're reflecting. They're thinking. They're noticing. We don't care if they think it's positive yet. We just care that they're thinking. Because remember, they're your why. Right? What's that? I lost it.
Sorry, I'm doing dishes. My son just put dirty dishes in the sink and I'm loading the dishwasher. I was fussing at him.
Jeff, you have this thing with the mic. It's weird. You just leave it off until you're ready to talk. It's cool. All right. Does anybody else want to give me one of their new goals? Hopefully it's a bigger one, and we can see if we're moving forward in the right direction, please. Did everybody not create a goal? Yes, Jolene's on here. Jolene, my wife is calling you out right now. Oh, we went through your goal in depth, Jolene. Get talking.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. My kids are singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Snow day here at home. So apologize. I reached out to Catherine, and I've gone back and watched, because I actually said I'm going to take time for my kids, because 4:30 is generally pickup time for me. So I said I'm going to go back and be dedicated and watch the videos. And I got to the goals and really reflected and said, all right, I'm going to work out 3 days a week. And then I started having a conversation with Catherine about other things, and we got to goals. And so my first goal is, the overarching goal is I want to grow more muscle, lean out. And so I'm going to start by doing that 3 days a week. And I'm going to start with just something fun, something that I'm getting there. And then I'll gradually go either back to CrossFit or hire a trainer or a coach or something like that. But right now, it's going over my lunch break. It's 3 days a week. Actually, last week I made 4. I was so proud of myself.
Nice.
I made time for me while my daughter was at a birthday party. And then less eating out and more nutritional meals at home with the kids. So I actually have meatloaf in the oven right now, and the kids are painting, and just figuring out how to prioritize that time. There was, in one of the earlier calls, it's not the time that you have, it's how you utilize your time. And I have really reflected, and I have not been utilizing my time well at all. And so my lunches, I'm going to either jump on calls or go to the gym. And then when the kids are in bed at night, if it's a fingers crossed easy night, I'm going to prepare my meals for the next day. So I have a lunch that I can take with me, and I don't have to go through the drive-thru after I work out, because that totally defeats the purpose.
Okay, I love it. So
understanding my why.
I like the why. I want you to go deeper with your why, though. That's what I was thinking. So if you can have, what does it look like when you're healthier, your kids are healthier? What are you guys doing? Go bigger, go further. When they are having their own kids, what does your family look like? That is how you can define why, because you can tie the goals and the future, all of it, the big picture, to the things you're struggling with now. Then you can share that. That's a pain in the butt to figure out and make all these changes in 1 week. That's painful. It might not seem like it to you guys. That's your post, because somebody else, almost everybody, by the way, is struggling with exactly that, right? If they're trying to get healthy. And so that's a beautiful thing to talk about. Some people read that and go, well, shit, if she can figure out a better meal and not go through drive-thrus, well, then what? She did 4 days a week? Okay, thanks, Jolene. I'm going to do that. It just starts to happen. Okay. I'll give you another simple example. I posted cold plunge twice, and Dennis wants to buy one. He wants to figure something out. Okay. Like, it's literally that easy, right? And I've even talked about the pain and why I want to do it. Okay. So I love it. Focus on that. And then I would like to see if you could come up with more beyond health, because I think you have a much more dynamic plan for your life. Can you do that? Okay. And then as you're balancing time, guys, that's why we're adding things slowly. Go back to day 3. Look at the list of 25 things you can remove and 25 things you can add as a basis, as an idea, so that you can start to move yourself towards these goals. And you guys should be reviewing your goals. I didn't talk about this yet, but you should literally be reviewing your goals or your vision board or whatever you're grateful for as you reach your goals every single morning. Part of your morning routine. We might get into that. I haven't really got into it because I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. If you start adding in freaking 30 minutes or 10 minutes of your day, even of just going through your vision board, geez, it can be a little bit scary. So we won't necessarily do that yet. But Dennis and I were talking about some stuff we're going to add in later. And maybe Dennis will do it with you. Maybe you can take the pressure off. Papa Cass won't be yelling at you. But you guys, you should be reviewing your goals all the time so that these can be assessed and grown. So you can change, because you guys all thought about growth earlier when I asked the question. That's how it happens. It's the goals. Okay. Jolene, you want to go again?
Yeah, that was on Catherine's call today, was all about goals. And I've one of my shortfalls is I set what I feel are good goals, but then I never come back to them. So I need to figure out a way to make it present. Yes, you can keep painting. Do you need another?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me.
To make it present, so I see it. So I'm making sure, holding myself accountable. I do like the social media posts, but put something in my bathroom, under the mirror. That's what I look at every morning when I get up. So
if you're struggling with that, guys, I like to think of the big picture, okay? And then you always kind of work backwards. So you won't necessarily be there, but as long as you're taking steps towards it, that's why I'm such a big fan. Two of my mentors brought this add remove system in. You don't think about it like a goal. You think about it like moving forward towards the direction that you're trying to go. And it's like, well, obviously I should remove that if I want to actually achieve this. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to make an example up. A lot of times I hear men who have always wanted to have a ranch. It's not my thing. Probably my wife would love that. But if that is a goal that becomes something in my life because my wife does want all the animals, God help us all. If that happens, then I'm going to need to learn how to take care of whatever those animals look like. Well, I'm sure goats would be there. There's probably a cow for Briar. That I guarantee my wife says she doesn't want a horse. It could be boarded, but I better learn what that looks like. So what does that mean? I don't have to get an animal and just start doing it. I can start on YouTube, start learning with some of my time slowly. I can start going to a farm and actually interact with the animals because the people here have farms and they'll let me do it. I just have to ask, not be afraid to say, hey, would it be okay if I come spend a day with you or an hour? Can I bring my kids? Excuse me. So the goal would be the ranch or the farm for Catherine and the family, but I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I take the big baby steps and little steps. By the way, she's not going to watch this call. Nobody repeat this to her. Let's not give her any ideas. Thank you. Okay. But I'm trusting you guys and all of you. So, but the goal would just be to find little mini goals. So what am I going to do to make it easy? Based off what we're talking about, it's simple. I'm going to remove something from my life where I can spend 30 minutes a day, probably starting with YouTube. So I'm going to add YouTube in first. I'll get bored of that quick. So I'll start looking at my calendar and I'll start adding in time where I can probably bring the family to the farm. Okay. And we just keep building on it. Is this making sense, guys? Okay. I'm serious. Don't tell Catherine we had this talk. I'm serious. I'm stuttering. Don't make me do that. All right. Okay, who wants to go next? I saw a couple hands come up, but now we're down. Was it you, Serenity? Was one of them? And there was a dude too. Was it? Okay, Steven, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. The gentleman that was talking about his journey to escape the grasp of porn. Brother, I'm with you. I've been away from it from somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. And I found on YouTube, there's a lady, Dr. Trish Lee. She talks a whole lot about what happens to your mind when you look at porn. It's really good stuff. And one thing I learned just observed for myself is if I'm staying away from it, if I'm doing good, I feel like my masculinity is growing. But if I stop and look at that mess or masturbate or do anything along that line, yeah, my masculinity just takes a hit.
Thank you, Steve. I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, I'm gonna cut it because you guys can connect. This is exactly why we're talking. But you'd be doing that through post, whatever. I'll do that. That way we can keep moving forward. I appreciate it though, because we could go on for like a year without taking Zoom off and go through the problems with porn and the benefits of not.
Right.
But I appreciate the support for Brian. Thank you. Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, I had, I think you saw what I had posted yesterday. I basically just posted about the goal I'd set for myself last year about just getting in the best shape of my life before I turned 40. And so I guess I just really need to, since I kind of pivoted on what I was posting about, is just maybe kind of going back and doing some ads related to that specific goal and removals.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So a lot of you guys are just thinking about health. He's saying the best shape of his life. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think the best shape of your life? How do you know you're in the best shape of your life?
By what I see in the mirror and what I feel like every day.
I would challenge you to go further. Like if you're talking about the best shape of your life, that's a pretty bold claim. Would anybody else agree? Okay, so what does that look like? Are you gonna? I hate running marathons, but let's say that's it for you. Is an Ironman? Is that some sort of burpee challenge, Guinness Book of World Records? You know, is there something that you can actually go for that would mean to you best shape of your life? Because you know, I'm in the best shape of my life too, but that's not an actual goal. Like, you know what I mean? I like to be healthy overall. I like to be fit. I like to look good and feel good. Right? That's good enough for me. But now I'm joining CrossFit with Catherine a couple times a week, and I'm like, maybe I want to do more with this. We'll see. Maybe that would change. That would then cut over to what you're talking about, where I'd want to be competing in these games. Right? So I want to encourage you to think about your bigger goal and tie it into what that means to you. This is part of what a why is. Does that make sense, Greg?
Yeah, I think so.
And then tie into why it matters to you. I know that your before picture, you're about, was it 40 pounds heavier?
50, yeah.
50 pounds. So what was it like being 50 pounds overweight? What did that feel like? If you don't remember, grab a couple dumbbells, 25s, and go walk around for half an hour. Walk around as long as you can. Time it. Make that a post. Not recording the whole thing, but you could do like little splits of it, or show you at the beginning, show you at the end, and talk about what it was like to be 50 pounds heavier. Eye-catching, people. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So does anything come to your mind when I say, what does that mean to you? Best shape of your life?
I have to think about it more because, I don't really have like a specific goal, like you're saying, to run a marathon or in a certain time or do anything like that. It's more about looking and feeling good, which it's been a long time since I felt that way. So
and that's okay too. But then I'd get you to go find some bigger goals to go work towards.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of want to do that anyways, though. I mean, Greg's a little bit different. He's thought for a while he'd like to inspire people on this kind of journey. So, but maybe that means more along some of my old footsteps, right? With a gym or an online business. You know, maybe you want to work with Brian and Cole and figure out how to become a trainer online and make $100,000 a month. You know, like there's lots of different goals that you could tie into this then. Right? So I want you to think about that. Remember your pain, make it all your why, and then we'll start delivering that. Giving you adds and removals that get you there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And of course, we can talk too, because we have plans for my app and my program with you. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Greg?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Matt, you're up. Oh, where could Matt be?
All right. Yeah, so it's funny actually that what you and Greg were talking about. Oh, hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a whole time.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Oh, now I can see you, you good-looking mug.
Okay, perfect. So, okay. But it's funny that you were talking about with Greg. So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm just listening. That's part of communication.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, my bad. What you were talking about with Greg, so about the goals thing and like what you imagine a perfect body to look like or whatever. So yeah, I'm on like the health journey too, and I've been thinking a lot about it, like what I want my body to look like, I guess, or what a perfect body to me is. And I've kind of decided that, I want to look like a boxer. So my next goal right now is to look into training like one. I don't want to go out and fight people or any of that bullshit. That's long and past. But yeah, that's kind of where my next goal is headed. And another small goal that I'm really humming and hawing on
and I don't have a lot of time to decide, so I really got to shit or get off the pot, is I kind of like this whole posting thing, and I know you're aware of it, that I made a live post while I was out working out. And I kind of want to do that more. I think I might like make it a small goal of mine to do that every day when I work out. And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but a couple people that were watching, my brother, my wife, one of my buddies, you know, I had a little bit of fun with it. And I was like, hey guys, get your asses up, grab your dogs, go for a walk, do something, you know, like kind of half calling them out while I'm literally doing what I said I was going to fucking do that day.
Guys,
You know,
this
so,
is the point of documenting. This
those
is
are
like
kind of two small little goals that I've thrown in the mix. Again, like I said, I really got to shit or get off the pot on one.
Yeah, don't repeat it. Got it. So this is good. This is gold. So yeah, you can start boxing, no problem. That's easy. Just go find a gym, start boxing. Number two, or even a punching bag in a YouTube video, guys. You can find one on Marketplace, Craigslist, Kijiji, easy. 50, $100, just get started. Fuck. Like that's the thing. I love it. Also, I love this working out thing. One of my mentors, Cole, that's how he got big. He started working out and just, I mean, mind you, it was during COVID, but people relate to that because it's real. If you were huffing and puffing going, this sucks, you know, it took me 3 years to get started. I've been in a program for the last X amount of months, and like I'm finally just getting my health organized. This fucking sucks. I wish I would have started 6 months ago. That's real, guys. And that's next level if he's doing a live with it, you know. You know, I can't imagine something like Brian going, oh my gosh, I want to use porn right now. I'm not going to do it. But could you imagine the power if you could? You know? It's up to you guys. That's great. That's great, Matt. You know what I mean? Fantastic. Keep moving. And I want to just address something. You don't have to shit or get off the pot, like he said a couple times. But I like that mentality because most people, they need to hear it. The reason why I'm saying you don't have to is because we're working you through a system where by the end of this, if you're not going to start reaching for goals by the end of this, at some point along the way, you're probably doomed. No offense. Okay. But, you know, like I was telling you guys, I can't remember if it was yesterday, but that fellow was like, yeah, but I have a farm and like I have all this and that. And I just like, who the fuck's on these calls, man? You don't think I have shit on the go? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're not even loading the app up. You just got to fucking make some posts. By the way, I do that too. So you do have to shit or get off the pot, but think about it like I'm trying to work you into it. Because every single one of you, almost all of you, I should say, have struggled with follow through, with accountability, with identifying what you want. So I'm not one, if you're in my program and I give you the steps, it's like, do this. Well, that's because it's marriage and we're saving it fast. This is designed differently. This is designed to let you build into you because most of you are so lost. That's why one of the reasons why you're struggling in your relationship. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Matt. That's great. You're just excelling on this thing, man. Now you're doing lives. That's fantastic. Keep it up, dude. All right. Oh, and I did want to say one more thing to you, Matt. I was thinking about it too. You should do a little bit more research as part of your ads on your apparel. You really want to do it. So do a little more research on it. See if that's something that can happen for you. Okay? Cool? Okay. All right, Brian, you're back up.
So I used in a different avenue. So one of my commitments was to get rid of sweets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being at this men's retreat, we had ridiculously good sweet options there. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a terrible time to have taken up this commitment to no sweets, right? And like they're Amish made pastries and homemade fresh cookies, and we do Dutch oven pies. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But I did it, restrained myself. And so I brought some of the Amish pies and the homemade cookies home with me. And I thought, you know, Sunday's my cheat day. I can do this. Then I got thinking about it. I was like, you know, I just made this commitment. I'm just a few days into the journey. Nope, I'm not going to do it. So I went, it wasn't live, but I did a video of myself talking and I showed the sweets. I'm like, man, basically what I just said, but not going to do it. I'm going to get rid of them. Not going to have them. And just that was one on post. And so I tying that into what you were saying about
I love it.
doing something.
I love it, guys. The struggle is real. If you could be more authentic, it's real. Look, can you imagine? I mean, that would be terrible, but can you imagine that narcissistic relapse I had with Catherine a couple weeks ago, whatever it was? Like if that was ready for, okay, guys, here I am, here you go. Like that's, the struggle is real, right? The more real you can be, the better, okay? So what I want you to think of is this, though. Cheat meal is what registered for me here. I'm going to be really, really clear with you guys here because I'm a bit of a no bullshit guy, as you know, okay? When you are on a healthy plan, you think, I should have a cheat meal. I deserve it. I've worked hard all week, okay? I'm just going to flip this for you, okay? When you've been on your shit plan, eating whatever the fuck you want, do you have healthy cheat meals? Come on, anybody put their hand up if you have healthy cheat meals. Now, you're lying. No, you're probably lying. Who are we? We're Chris. You're probably lying because you might say, oh, I think I better eat better and have a salad. But it wasn't a cheat meal, was it, dude? Let's get real. No, yeah, it was fucking lie to yourself. You guys, you can apply this to anything, okay? For some reason, you all want to reward yourself with the cheat, which means you're not wanting to give it up, means you're forcing yourself to give up something instead of rewarding yourself with the benefits of going 90 days without sugar and maybe never ever needing it again. I wanted to drink really, really badly 2 days ago with Catherine. Really bad. I didn't do it. I didn't even think about, alcohol as the gateway for me to lose myself and become a bad man. Okay. I didn't think that. I just literally thought, why? I have all these other benefits. I'm getting up earlier, refreshed. Instead of forcing myself out of bed at 3:30 in the morning, I'm just waking up. I started going through all of this. Don't reward yourself with a cheat. Reward yourself with the reason why you're removing it. 100%. Okay, I don't know if Bill cheats or not, but Bill's down fucking 100 pounds, maybe more now. 112? I don't know. Excuse me. He didn't lose 100 pounds by cheating all the time to reward himself, guys. I want you to understand this. Whatever you're removing is because you know it's holding you back from reaching every goal you've ever had in your life. That's the point of Morrow momentum. I'm going to put this all, since we're all here for relationships, okay? Let's just say when your partner doesn't want to have sex, she's 10 pounds away from turning the lights on. Don't you think if you're not eating like crap, having cheat meals, it might be easier for her to feel more confident in her own skin? Because she's not tempted. Catherine apologized for having wine. Oh, sorry, babe. I said, no, it's nothing to do with you. I felt like having a drink. Because I take responsibility for myself. Just like you should. Is this clicking, guys? Does anybody, I'm not going to yell at you. I know you didn't pay me. You're not in my program. Okay. I'm not going to yell at you. Does anybody want to talk about something they feel like they want to, are you removing things just so that you can have it in a week or two? Because let's look at the benefits. Let's look at what we're going to have as a reward by not adding it back into our life instead. Okay. By the way, let's just say you quit drinking. It's not like you can never have a drink again. Okay. Unless there's a real reason why you stopped. You got to look at this for real. Anybody want to talk about one of their things? There's a lot of shy people on this call. There's always the same people talking. Come on. I have to start calling people out. You guys just won't show up. Okay. Well, it says Joseph. You're not Joseph.
That's.
Oh, it showed up on you.
Oh, we have echo.
I don't know what happened there. But I struggle with cigarettes. Like I've been trying to quit for the last 6 months.
Yeah, cigarettes is I'm going to mute you again because it really echoes. So the cigarettes is for sure one you cannot reward yourself with because it's an addiction. Right. So I'm on what is it? The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, and I keep reading the last. I think it's 4 chapters. I keep listening. Sorry, keep listening to them. My mind is not there where it's like, oh yeah, I get it. And I understand growth enough where personally, I'm like, okay, I'm not clicking yet, right? So I'm just like every day again, I'm reading it again, listening to it again. Okay. I shouldn't say reading, it's listening. And so now I'm at a point where, okay, it's been 4 days, it might be 5, where I've felt this way. And so I'm like, because I started with like decreasing my cigarettes because I was 2.5 packs a day. And so I'm at a point now, it's like, I think I got to actually buy the physical book. And I don't mean on my phone, I mean the physical book, listen to the audio while I read it and go with that, I think. So I want my goal. I'm going to go to the next step to elevate it and reach it. And I get it. You know, for everything that I've accomplished in my life, I feel like I'm kind of a fucking loser right now. I can't think that way. I'm going to put something else in place so I can continue to push for my goal. So that's what I want to challenge you to do. I want you to think about, number one, something that's addictive, guys. And a lot of these things are addictive anyways. I don't care if you're talking about cigarettes, if you're talking about alcohol, if you're talking about porn, if you're talking about work. We make them addictive for ourselves. We train ourselves to cope with them, which makes them an addiction. Then there's something like a drug, for example, nicotine. You just can't reward yourself with it. So just be as real as you are, like I am with me. If you notice, the day that I said, well, you might not have seen it because I don't remember if you would have seen it at the same time. Oh, that's why you're echoing, because you're both on the call. I see. So what you have to think about is like, I put non-smoker the day I was going to go. Okay, I'm finishing the book today, so it's non-smoker on my story. And then it was like, whoa, not ready. I think I want to say like 7 or maybe 9 hours. I can't remember. So I started to write no smoking again. I'm keeping it on the forefront of my mind. I think about it every time I have a cigarette. I'm caught in the book on my 3rd time through the last 4 chapters. I caught it and it was like, you need to pay attention to what's happening when you're smoking. Okay, so now I have to do that. That means I can't be scrolling my phone. I can't be doing all my conversations like I normally would. I have to literally just like focus on the grossness of it, the reason why I'm not free from it, the stress that it's actually causing me, i.e. why I get on the phone to deal with people's crisis in their marriage, right? And so all of a sudden I want to be like, so I have to think about stuff like that. Does that make sense? So if you can start to think about it like that perspective, pick up the easy way to quit smoking. It's fantastic. And then we'll get your mind there. And you might struggle like I am. I don't know. I know that's helped 30 million people at the time of, I think 2019 was when this version was released. 30 million. So give it a shot, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, cut out anything that would be making you want to smoke. So if you're drinking and you want to smoke, cut out the drinking. Make sense?
Okay, so I stopped drinking a while back.
Okay, good.
Now I'm just trying to get rid of the cigarettes.
Yeah, I think for me, like I don't click the same way. I just love it. And I know from reading the book, I know why I shouldn't, but I still in my mind, it hasn't switched the same way. I'm okay with all of you struggling with any one of your goals that way. Sometimes if you're in my program in the reset, the guys on the call might laugh because sometimes I'm like, just fucking stop. But that's because we're looking at a totally different goal. We're not looking at the quit smoking. We're looking at the fact that your wife thinks you're repulsive and she told you. So what's the bigger picture, right? And so, we'd have to look at how much a partner is enabling you for this or for that, or there's other things if we get into the actual program. But for right now, if we're just talking about you and your relationship with cigarettes, that's what we have to look at. Same with any of your goals. You and your relationship with that goal and the outcome you want to achieve. Okay? All right, guys, you can hear my kids came home, but we got 4 more minutes. What I want to do is this. I want to quickly go over the homework, and then if we have time, we'll go through yours as well, Michael, okay? So the homework is simple. I put in how to create the script, or you could call it the post if you're writing out a post in day, what are we on, 8 or 9? 8, I think. Day 8, okay? So I want you to try it out, okay? I left it like that for a reason. You notice how every day I get you guys to try? I don't really give you a lot. It's because I want you to just feel it. I want you to see what it's like breaking out of your comfort zone every single time we do something new, okay? So some of you started with your video posts. If you haven't done a video post, we're going to be learning to use the script procedure, okay? That's in day 8. to make an actual script, and you'll be able to do a post and a reel this week. Okay. So I want you to attempt it. Okay. Just do it as a post if you're not comfortable on video. If you are comfortable on video, do it as a video. Okay. Tag me, hashtag Morrow Momentum, Cass Foster Morrow for the tag. And I'm going to go start looking at everybody's stuff here right away. Okay. Actually, I have a call. Yeah, I'll do it right away and then a little bit later. And let's give you guys some feedback, but try it. Okay. Cool. We're going to go right into, I want you to attack the pain. And then what's the purpose of the video? And then you'll see that sometimes you can give value like practical steps. And sometimes day 8 should open. I don't know why it's not opening. It's there. Let me see. Let me copy it and then refresh your app. It's looking good here. So you might have to just swipe up on the app and then reopen it. Okay. So yeah, and then you'll learn that sometimes you'll give value, and sometimes you'll give your opinion. Opinion is like, hey, wake up. And sometimes your value will be like, do this, this, and this. Okay. So for example, Brian, it's not the porn addiction that's getting you. It's the fact that your wife doesn't approve of you and you feel like your needs aren't being met. Right. And then you might go into 3 reasons why, or 3 things that you could do to stop the porn. Right. Or you might go further into that pain. Right. Once you learn to fill your own cup, you won't have to practice with porn and filling up another cup. When are you going to use that cup anyway? Right? You see what I'm saying? Brian's writing this down like, oh my gosh, this is gold. He's writing it down. Okay, so so give it a shot. And Leah, you're saying it's not opening? So is Richard. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Hey, baby cakes, have you ever seen that where the day doesn't open for them? It's like locked up.
So I did the same thing yesterday. When you would click on it, it says loading content, and then it goes back to where it shows you Morrow Marriage, Lords, et cetera, and it won't actually open anything. And then Richard is saying that it opened later in the evening because he and I were having the same problem yesterday during your call.
Oh, that might be the video because I didn't put the video in. I wonder if it doesn't load until I load the video. So I'm downloading it right after this, and then I'll put it in there, and then it'll be good to go. Takes about 20 minutes or so. Okay. For the download upload. Okay. All right. Okay, Michael, we have 30 seconds, man. Go for it. You're muted, dude. But you look good, like you're moving well.
As you know, I drive a semi. Going back to the fitness thing, how would I be able to work out on the road 24/7? I ran 2,500 miles this past week.
At some point, you do get out of your vehicle. So have a short workout, right? Even if it's the same thing, you can repeat that over. There are some people that do the same workout, the same 3-5 minute workout multiple times throughout the day because that's what the best option is for them. I don't think it's ideal, but if it's the same body parts all the time, by the time you're done the day, it's actually a different way people can get stagnant body parts to work to grow again. So essentially you can, let's just say you were doing squats, burpees, push-ups. Okay. Just making that up right now, but you did that every time you stop, take a pee, you're going to feel it by the end of the day, but you're sitting down all day driving. So you better get your diet on point. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'll load up day 8 here and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. See you guys. Bye-bye. All right, see you guys. Oh, somebody named Mario sent you a bunch of goats, chickens, stuff for you, a bunch of farm animals.